Enough of that. That was ridiculous. I don't know why it looped around. I saw 0 people on the live, and I'm like, no, I'll just keep looping it around forever. What's up, guys? Thank you very, very, very much for joining us. Joined by none other than myself, Jamie Gard. We've got Flip Moss, Nate Ryan. We're going live across 3 amazing communities, and we'll wait to a couple of minutes to see who rocks up, and then we're going to roll this like it's going out of fashion. I was going to say another thing then, but I won't. I'll refrain. Tony, how lovely to see you, Tony. That's great. Well, this is just very typical Australian language there.
That wins. Best comment already. Let's go, fuckers. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go. Let's roll.
It's over.
Let's roll this joint.
Yeah.
Who we got? Tony, obviously. Good to see you. Facebook user, anyone that hasn't, if you wouldn't mind giving the little link above for StreamYard, just a wee tickle, that would be great. Just allows us to see who we're dealing with. That would be super, super, super swell. Justin, nice work. Been blowing up lately. Sang,
Sweet,
David, Facebook user Paul Bishop, nice to see you. Calvin, how you going? Keep smashing that button. Hashtag live. Keep demolishing it like it's going out. Like you're trying to break your phone. If you wouldn't mind, that would be great. Michelle, how you doing? We are in StreamYard. Patience, how you going? Colin, how you doing? Well, I don't want to get sued, but apparently we are. Yes. Tyler,
I'll take it.
On? Jim. Oh, really? It doesn't allow. Okay, that's an interesting one. Didn't know that was the case. Appreciate it. Jacqueline, how you doing?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So, cool. 30-odd people on the live. That's awesome. So thanks so much for everyone for hopping on. We've got some pretty badass things that I want to go through today on this training. And this is really just condensing down, I guess, for all of us, many thousands of dollars spent on our own education, mentoring, all that type of stuff. A decade plus of online for me, millions sold across the 3 of us, plus obviously impacting a whole bunch of people. So what we wanted to do is really just go over the four killers. Wow, that was a tongue twister and a half. The 4 killers of online marketing, the 4 pillars of online marketing, and more specifically related to scaling to first 100K. So I'm going to make the assumption that we're all relatively familiar with each other in terms of our audiences, things like that. But I thought it might help just to go around the room real quick and just do a real brief intro so you guys kind of know at least 67% kind of know what they're talking about. And the other one is just like hanging on. So do you guys want to just give a bit of an intro and give the very brief, not the extended version, just the very brief outlay of kind of guess how you got started in all this and your journey over the last couple of years?
Super brief. I say fuck a lot. Yep, we're good. No, I'm just kidding. I do say that a lot.
Yeah.
Jamie actually gave me the nickname Beardy McSwearman because I shoot it straight. I leave the fluff to the marshmallow marketers, and I say what I want. So, real quick, back in 2017, I used to work 60 to 90 hours a week. I was literally missing time at home. I wanted to make money online. I failed like a motherfucker from 2017 to 2020. Tried damn near every side hustle under the sun. Lost probably, I don't know, 35,000, trying to figure this shit out. And I found SAA in August of 2020. Met up with this awesome dude that's beside me, Mr. Jamie Gardner, and I put my head down. He challenged me in early 2021 to make offers the rest of February. Did that, banked over $1,000. 2 months later, I was on Jacob Karras's radar, hit a $20,000 month, hit a brick wall, thought I was losing my mind, locked arms with Jacob inside of Inner Circle. Pretty much crossed 100,000, did like 105,000 2021. Rolling into 2022, locked arms with the guy below me. We created something called Group Juice. We've done multi six figures this year already, probably about $250,000 in sales total. And here we are today with you awesome folks.
Yeah. Amazing work. Right, yourself, Nate. What's
similar story, right? Similar story. I have the exact same story as Flip. No, I started in 2017, early 2018. Very similar backstory as far as Flip. You know, I struggled for a really long time, ran a digital marketing agency, have a massive blog. I think I have like 5 or 6 books worth of content on a blog, 296,000 words to be exact. And my business actually really had a pivotal moment off of a call with Jamie, ironically. And here we are today. And that's where my business really transitioned, was after a call with Jamie, really realizing the power of Facebook, high ticket affiliate marketing, stuff like that. And within the next year, I did about 6 figures in sales, nonprofit, that year. And then locked arms with Flip, and we're here now, right? All about group growth, monetization, no fluffy shit, right? I guess you could say we're all about real, tangible shit that a lot of our students are actively smashing it with, right? So another cool thing about what we've had going on this year is like, yeah, we've crossed $250,000 in sales this year, but our clients have also done $200,000 in sales this year across the clients. Most of them with different offers, with their own brands, unique ecosystems. So that's a very brief snapshot of where I am. I'm kind of known as the tech guy because I spent a lot of time there. But yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Right, and so the next hour is just me going to be talking about myself. No, I'm kidding. So my name's Jamie. So basically started in affiliate marketing. Actually, I saw a name pop up. She's going to be absolutely mortified that I mentioned her, but my mum was on this call. And I'm not going to say your name. It's okay. But I was inspired by my mum. She set up an e-commerce store in 1996-ish, I think it was, before Amazon, before Google, all that type of stuff. And so I kind of grew up around that. She sold the business 2021. And basically, that was my inspiration for getting into the online space. And in 2011, I was working in financial markets, and I thought there has got to be a better way. This is just ridiculous. Here I am slaving away. Loved the job, ironically enough, but just I thought there's got to be something better. Started setting up blogs, not quite as relentless as Nate by the sound of it, but had a whole string of blogs. None of them really did anything. I then tried e-commerce, CPA marketing, had relationship breakdowns, went bankrupt 2016, lost multiple jobs. Finally, ran some e-commerce stores, had about 3 or 4 of those. Actually did okay with a couple of them, sold one. And then, and then from the skills that I learned from that, I ended up bridging over to running lead generation ads for small business. And so with that, did that for a couple of years. That was what got me out of the workforce. And then once I did that, I very quickly realized I'm not entirely sure if I want to deal with clients after that. And so I transitioned into affiliate marketing. This is off the back of, I actually did quite well in 2018. And then the agency I was getting most of my income from, they basically brought all their marketing in-house. And I thought, okay, well, this is kind of crap. I was like, well, that's just business for you. And then they also stopped paying their invoices. So I kind of like ran out of cash. And so I pivoted to affiliate marketing, which I'd already been doing in the background all the way along. Had all sorts of articles on Medium and you name it. I've tried a lot of stuff out there, put it that way. And so then was struggling. Wasn't until late 2019 where I met someone by the name of Jacob Karras, who I met him in March 2019. We kind of kept in touch, and in late 2019, we collaborated on what became the Super Affiliate Accelerator, which both these gentlemen have been through. And within about 14 months from that, we clocked over $1 million US and hit the 2 Common Club Award, which you see behind me there. And yeah, the business has grown ever since. I sort of am still the coach with that. Flip has now joined us as one of the coaches through that as well. Nate, you're up next. Also have branched out on my own and started doing my own coaching thing, which is very similar. And this is why I was really happy to kind of do this training with these guys as well. Is for my thing, it's all about group monetization and same sort of deal. It's I don't quite have the volume of students that these guys do, but what we teach is the fundamental principles of sales, marketing, branding and it's universal and works across a bunch of niches and all that type of stuff. So kind of gives a bit of an idea about who we are. That wasn't too long, was it? That's just looking at the time, wasn't too bad. So and for those of you that have heard all of our stories before, I apologize if we're just kind of rambling over the same stuff, but just wanted to kind of give you guys a bit of a heads up as to who we are, what we do, and I guess how we've helped a few people out as well. So what I'm going to do real quick, we've actually got a couple of things we want to go over, and Nate has prepared something which is pretty good. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is share my screen. It's actually something I wanted to go over real quick, which kind of prefaces all the stuff, and then I'll hand it over to these lads, and they can just go through all that stuff later on. Oh, that's so annoying. I just saved a Zoom call, and it's decided to save itself right now. Sorry, folks. Do that.
Oh, good.
These guys are going to...
And while Jamie's dealing with that, getting ready to show us some awesome artistic skills. Those of you that have questions as we go, we are going to do, a bigger Q&A at the end. So either write them down or, drop a comment. If you haven't, smash that heart button. Make sure you hit that link above us one more time so we can see that you're not a Facebook user. I like seeing all of you guys' awesome ass names. And we've got a treat for you guys. This training is probably going to put some other paid shit to shame, and we're just going to give it to you. Give it to you straight. Towards the end, we got some other cool shit to go over. Jamie has mentioned somebody's going to get some actual cash, so make sure you keep engaging. You stick around to the end, you will see a very unique opportunity, right? We're not going to twist your arm. We're just going to give you all the sauce up front. And if you happen to want to see or work with us closely, you will have that option to do so if you fall in this small group number of people. So stick around to the end. We're going to blow your socks off. So take your slippers off. Just let it fly. You'll be good.
I love that. I love how you guys are like, no fluff, no, none of that. And I'm like, yeah, let's chuck some fluff in there for sure. Like we're going to expand upon that. Tony, mate, the peanut gallery. Listen to it. God. I'm sorry. I should have given my mother more praise. Yes, she was my inspiration. She's the reason why I got into this whole thing. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show my whiteboard as per the comment made down there. And so if I share the whole screen, yeah, that's good. There's nothing too dodgy on it. Double check. Yeah, nothing too dodgy. All right, share screen. So in theory, yes, I'll thank God. Right, so the reason why I wanted to share my screen is basically if you look at any online business, it's going to come down to three major facets, and we're going to cover, all three facets in sort of a high overarching overview. And then, like I say, as Flip mentioned, we do have a pretty unique opportunity for a handful of folks to continue on should you be interested at the end of that, which we'll cover. But it all boils down to three things. You've got your offer, you've got your method of conversion, and you've got your traffic source. Very similar to the month of October, which is the year month was born. So anyway, if you think about the offer, like normally most people, the way that they view this stuff is that you got 33% on each one, right? Which makes up 100%. Now there is other factors, there's mindset, all that type of stuff, but we don't really have scope for that in this particular presentation. But having said that, if you are able to create an offer that resonates with your ideal audience, that is completely badass, that is unique, then, and we're going to cover that as well, then all of a sudden you're going to start shifting the weighting, meaning that the offer is going to do a whole bunch of that heavy lifting. So even if you're not that great at creating content, even if you're not that, getting tons and tons and tons of traffic, if your offer is designed to target your ideal audience, then it's going to do a lot of that heavy lifting, right? Hopefully this is making sense. Next part about it is having a method of conversion. One of the things that I really can't stress enough, but I think, there's so many ways to do this game. There's so many ways to go out there and convert. Like you can hop on a call, you can do this style of thing, you can do in Messenger, you can send a Google Doc. I know these boys do a lot of stuff via Google Doc. But what I would encourage folks to do, is just stick with one that you resonate with. And for me, I love jumping on calls, so that's kind of my jam. But I've also sold stuff with Google Docs. I've also sold stuff just in Messenger as well, and you name it. But the point being is that I think to get started, depending on what part of the journey you're in order to really focus on one singular thing, it's better just to go, okay, I'm going to choose this one thing and then move on to the next one after that, right? Otherwise, if you try to jumble them all together, a confused mind can't make good decisions. So next part about it is the traffic. And like I say, the reason why I wanted to preface this is because these are the overarching themes that we're going to cover. And then beyond that is once you've dialed in your offer, you've dialed in how to convert folks, complete strangers, into high-ticket buyers, then the rest of it is, guess what? Scaling. So, what we're going to cover is the traffic element. And again, I would also encourage folks not to spread themselves too thin in the initial stages as well with the traffic sources. There's many ways to get traffic, and these guys are absolute beasts at getting viral traffic, which is kind of why I'm super excited, because it combines the highly targeted stuff that I tend to do normally versus the kind of more viral stuff, which these guys are really good at. So I just wanted to throw this out there, kind of give you guys a bit of an overview of the key elements of the online business, and then we can kind of take a bit of a deep dive into some of those elements in a little bit more detail so we understand how they all tie together. So hopefully that makes sense. Any questions on the back of that real quick?
Real quick. Damn it, Tony. Luckily, you're not in our group.
Damn it, Tony.
Damn it, Tony.
Nice. It all works. Yeah, absolutely, it all works. All right, so with all that being said, I'm going to show this amazing beast of a thing that Nate has done. And do you guys actually... I'll just scroll down and we can just talk through it, yeah?
Yep. Yeah. Can everybody see that okay? We want to make sure that you can see this. Maybe Jamie can make it a little bigger. Just let us know.
I have to do everything.
I'm out.
Yeah. Because I can't see I've only got a little laptop screen, so I can't actually see the comments and screen and all that type of stuff. Does that
Yeah, it should look good.
Perfect.
Looks good.
Is there another way? I just press Control Plus, but is there another way to make it bigger? Or is that?
I think Control Plus is just the zoom in, right? We want to drop a copy of in the comments.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, if you guys want a copy so you guys could follow along, let me grab it. I will drop it.
Yep.
Right now.
And for those that are asking, we are going to have this available for replay for a short period of time. So if you happen to not make it, you'll miss out on the chance for the 200. Right? What's $200? Whatever. But we will keep it available for a little while. So don't stress yourself out. And to try and keep from us three from talking over each other, because I get fired up, Jamie gets fired up, Nate gets fired up. We'll fucking talk your ears off about this shit, because we can talk about this kind of stuff for hours. No shit. So we're trying to run through this in a timely manner while explaining it so that you can actually go and take this and deploy it into your business. That's a fact, Jack.
I'm just thinking for the sake, because I've just got my tiny little laptop screen. Nate, do you have a double screen there?
Yeah.
Did you want to, if I hide my screen, did you want to just bring up that doc on your side? It might be a bit easier. That way, because I can kind of see what's happening. I also have a little super secret sheet thing I'm going to share with you guys as well. Super secret.
Yeah. I'm not going to drop it in. If you want to drop it in your group, Jamie, the doc, because I can't do it in the StreamYard comments.
Yeah, that's a pain. Yeah, okay.
So yeah, this is a training we put together, right? This is. Oh, I don't even know if you can see. Can you see my screen yet?
Sorry, my bad. There we go. I'm going to add it. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, as we mentioned, this is something we put together for everybody in here. This is going to be
expand on that
monster of a doc.
Make it bigger.
Sorry.
That's what she said.
No, you didn't.
Is that good?
He did.
All right.
Yep. Yeah. Awesome.
Sweet.
Does giggle drinking apply to this call? That is definitely going to happen at least 10 times. If you guys catch it, be sure to let me know in the comments every time I make a girly giggle and I drink something. All right, we're in there. So yeah, 4 pillars responsible for a couple $1 million sold online, a couple million to look cool, right? As we talked about in the beginning, we collectively, we've used this exact process to sell a lot online. And as Jamie was saying in the beginning, having a very unfuck with a bull, if that's even a word, offer of your own can lift up a bunch of weight, right? If you have a very compelling offer of your own, this can be packaged on top of an affiliate product, or this can be your own unique offer. It doesn't matter, right? The concepts can be the same. The way that you can present this offer, the way that you can do this will virtually be the same either way. So unpacking the product, right? Breaking down each subsection of whatever you're promoting and presenting each of the aspects of your product as something different is a very simple yet effective way to increase the perceived value. This is also very beneficial when we're talking about selling that product or promoting that product through your content, because each different portion that you unpack becomes a different angle that you can promote from. It becomes a different dynamic, right? So a good example, real-time example of this is if we're talking about group juice, there's 4 main days inside of group juice, but there's also a bunch of additional bonus trainings that we could lean on and make that the position for how we want to promote it, whether that's in our content, in our conversations, whether someone tells us they want to solve a specific problem. You have different layers that you can make it relevant, right? So that would be step 1. Next would be covering the gaps, right? One of the biggest things when it comes to selling high ticket offers specifically is if you can cover the gaps of said product in whatever you're promoting. What I mean by this is you can go out and you can create resources yourself to make whatever you're selling as a complete package. You can look at white label products that'll do the job for you. Leverage resources you've collected on your journey or resources you've already put together, right? That's a very big one. They say success loves speed. So if you already have stuff that you've already done that you can repurpose, you have the ability to do that, right? If you've ran a free training inside of your Facebook group before that covers a specific topic that would enhance the product you're selling, you can then remove that from your group and add that as a bonus, right? And then if you do this effectively, you can put 2 or 3 things together on top of an affiliate product, and then it can become a whole different dynamic for promoting the same thing, right? You can literally sell the exact same thing, but have a different face on the front of it, and it becomes a new shiny opportunity, and everybody likes new and shiny shit. That's just the reality of it. Another thing would be resources, right? Less is more. This is something I actually picked up from Jamie very early on in my journey, or early on into my focus on offer creation is less, right? You don't need to add 762 different ebooks to the product to make it better. High quality, very relevant resources, as mentioned above. Finding or creating resources that are hyper relevant to the product, right? If you can enhance somebody's experience with a product, it makes it even better, right? If you're selling something that doesn't provide coaching or support, giving coaching and support, right? Now what you've been selling makes that complete package. And into the next one, adding support. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, can I just chime in there as well? Like, I think just addressing anyone that's relatively early on in their journey, and you kind of like, because I understand some of the stuff is really conceptual, and you're like, oh, that sounds good, but like to give you something, I guess to kind of chew on, like if you're struggling to, I don't know how to create a bonus, whatever. Like imagine that you pick up literally just one thing from this training, literally just one thing, and it gives you an epiphany. And that epiphany is enough to then go, well, hopefully if I've had an epiphany from it and I understand something new that I didn't get before, and you go and create like a little get Loom, like your Google Chrome extension thingy, record your screen, 5 minutes, like chuck it in a Google Doc or on YouTube or whatever as an unlisted video. Now you have something that is a bonus that has a high perceived value behind it. And it could be the most ridiculous things. It could be like, for example, I used to do a lot of low ticket stuff, and nothing against low ticket, but you needed quite a lot of volume in order to make it work for you, which is when I switched to high ticket stuff, being $1,000 plus and commissions. That's when my entire life started changing. I don't say that with any sense of dramatism. It really did. Like, it was just a game changer, a life changer for me. So understanding that, and then understanding lifetime customer value, now that's something that I was able to create bonuses and incentives and lead magnets based off of. So I guess the lesson in all that is just don't necessarily overthink it, because everything there's not everything, but there's a lot of stuff out there that has a high perceived value for you as well when you're going through this pathway.
And now that we're chiming in, Nate, I want to say, if you want me to run through some of it, I'm glad to do that. But my piece to add to what Jamie said, some of you are probably in here like, I'm not a coach. I don't know how to give support. You might not even be at that point yet. So I want to add my piece to that. You don't have to be a coach. Okay. If you're, I don't care what you're selling. I'm also known for saying dildos, dump trucks, or digital courses. It doesn't matter what you're selling. Okay. Doesn't matter what you're selling. But we have someone, one of our private clients, he doesn't want to do the coaching side, and he's been strictly an affiliate, right? But he's still able to close high ticket sales and add support to the folks that are buying from him. Okay. And he's doing that in a couple of different ways. One of those ways is making sure that he sells things that has the coaching and the support. Like me and Nate, Jamie, all of our programs, we have weekly support calls, right? There's a hint about what's going to be brought up to you guys towards the end, right? So I just wanted to add that piece. You don't have to be a coach. If you're like a brand new affiliate just coming into it, there are still awesome ways you can add the support and relevant bonuses to complement whatever the hell it is that you're selling. All right. So don't let that stifle you between your ears.
The other thing, you go for a minute, sorry.
And one of the biggest things is like little nuances that become normal in your business can actually be big changes for your prospects or people that come into your world, right? If you're talking about somebody who's a brand new beginner, if you can walk them through the process of writing a post, creating a TikTok video, optimizing their cover photo, things that like eventually will become basic as you're getting further and further along in this journey, weren't so basic in the earlier stages. So keeping that in mind when you're like thinking, if you're earlier on, like I don't have anything that I could offer people. As Demi mentioned, right? If you watch this training and you take 3 things away and you go turn those into little videos. Hey, these are the biggest lessons I learned from this doc, right? Those are 3 resources that you now have that you could give away on top of a program. You could use them as free trainings, virtually ending up creating your own assets, because at its core, that's what you're going to end up doing is selling yourself. You're monetizing with a product.
Love it. Love it.
I was going to chime in on Flip's comment as well, which is, you don't need to be a guru to help someone else out, right? Like there could be someone who, like, all you need to do is, and I don't want to like tell people to like oversell what they know and charge things for things they haven't done before, but like if you're selling a high ticket program and you're offering guidance along the way, it doesn't mean that you need to know all the answers. Like, that's absolutely fine to say to your people, listen, it's a great question. Let me get back to you on that one. But as long as you're a couple of steps ahead of people, that's usually what they want. Just like, I don't want to be kind of left to my own devices. Like, how do I go through this pathway and make sure that I'm holding myself accountable, things like that, which is, where this stuff comes from. So just want to add that in there.
Yep.
Yeah, and I will touch on, so like one-to-one time, right? And this can be relevant whether you want to be a coach or not. A good example and a real-time thing is when I first started in my first few high-ticket sales, I was literally just getting on Zoom with people that bought from me just to chat, just to support them. Hey, you need help building your funnel. Well, let's get on a Zoom, right? The personal time can be invaluable. Now, if you're already smashing it online, I wouldn't necessarily advise giving a ton of one-on-one time, but it can be very beneficial to add in your offer in the earlier stages. Hours of one-on-one call, right? Depending on what you're willing to accept is your hourly rate. As I mentioned, when I first was making my high ticket sales, I literally offered one-on-one time for like ever, which was not a very smart business decision. Would usually do a duration, 30, 60, 90 days of weekly one-on-one calls, right? Or until a goal, right? You can do one-on-one time until X is achieved, until your Facebook profile and your group is set up, until you've achieved your first sale, something you're actually confident in delivering on. Or you can go the other approach and you can literally just do support, right? As your business grows, I would highly encourage anybody to steer away from full-on just one-on-one time and move into more of a group scenario, one-to-many, group coaching, Q&As, stuff like that, because it's one-on-one time isn't very scalable unless you're charging very premium price products or premium prices, sorry. You can always mix in a variation of the two, right? So an example of this is like our core Accelerator, our six-month coaching program. We do one call a week with, all of our clients in a group setting, and then one a month, one-to-one, right?
That's awesome.
Adding additional support, having a support structure of your own outside of the product support system, right? A lot of affiliate programs you're selling they have support systems like Group Juice and stuff like that. We have support and we have coaching, but the biggest thing is, we're talking about building a long-term brand for yourself. So you kind of want to maintain some security in your own business and building that ecosystem of your own. You want to go, Flip?
I want to chime in again, not to draw this out, but those of you that are, newer, maybe you haven't started yet. And you're like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? I want to tell you something to keep your eye on. If you're looking at investing in something like we all have, pay attention to like the lifespan of the program, right? Look at what's coming out of the community. Talk to folks inside of it. You want to have something that's going to have some kind of coaching or support inside. I want to tell you, back in 2020, I dropped 10 grand on something that was for 2 months that ended up, I got shit on. All right. We'll just say that. And I paid a fraction of that to get inside with these other guys, and game changer. So pay attention to what you guys are jumping into. Do not jump at shit that says, hey, I'm going to show you how to make 30 grand in 30 days. Not happening. Okay. No.
Don't tell them, Flip.
At least not in your first 30 days, right?
Yeah. Have we meant to sell anything if you're not like overhyping it?
So yeah, ideas for support channels. And if I've got a little scrolled off and people are kind of losing track of what I'm talking about, these are all different buckets to add onto your offer, right? Things that you can put on top of your affiliate program, on top of your product to make that product even better, right? So ideas for support channel, private buyers group, groups, like a Facebook group exclusive to people who buy your products, where you do a weekly Q&A, Slack, WhatsApp, Telegram, Voxer, a Facebook group chat, like anywhere that your prospects or people that do buy from you can connect with you, can actually get some questions answered from you, right? Because especially if you're selling like a program that has a lot of people inside of it, there will be that disconnect, right? It's going to be harder to get a hold of the 7-figure creator of a program than it is going to be to get a hold of you, right? So that's one thing you got to remember is you're building that connection with that person. And if you do it very well, they'll usually end up buying more than one product from you. So physical products, books, educational materials. You can find a lot of books free plus shipping, making it a very cost-effective way to add thing to add on to products, right? Another really cool physical thing, pick this up from Jacob Karras, is tools, things like webcams, microphones, Chromebooks. You can really get outside of the box with anything that you want to add onto a program, and obviously it will eat your profit margins, but making one sale is better than making 0 sales, right? And if you're selling something that pays $1,500 in commissions, you spend $500 on bonuses for your students that come in. That's a very enticing offer, especially when people start talking about like the things that you've got them and that nobody else is giving them, right? You do like a business starter package and you send them like a Chromebook and headphones, and they can watch all the training and they're ready to go, right? It adds in the comment right there. Yeah. Adds massive value to the prospects coming through. And a lot of people are not doing this. They're not willing to do that. They don't want to eat their margins. Right. And another thing too would be in-person time, right? That's another one I also just recently picked up from Jacob was in-person. You know, you buy this program, once you cross 50K in your business, we'll meet up in person and I'll help you do X, Y, Z. We'll work on your offers. We'll work on your content, right? Very powerful. White label products.
Real quick. Anyone ever talked to someone, they made an offer and it was like, I don't have a laptop. Like, I don't have a computer. Even though I do 90% of my work from my smartphone, here's something you can do. I have done, and it works very nicely. Because they had the money, but it was like, I don't know where to start. I don't have a computer. I said, cool, check this out. I'm going to help you earn your first high-ticket sale online. And when you purchase this thing, it happened to be SAA. It was $3,000 for the core deal. And I bought them a laptop with my commission. Sent it to them. They now had a computer and a badass training. This was like in 2021. All right, so get creative with this stuff, guys. If you can actually use your objections to make a sale, right? So write that down. You can use an objection to make a sale. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Not.
Takes a bit of
All right, I'm gonna shut up now.
thinking.
Go ahead, Nick.
Sorry, man.
Go ahead, Moyan.
I was just saying it takes a little bit of creative / dynamic thinking sometimes for that.
Yep. And then white label products, right? White label products are basically where a lot of software companies will have basically resellers' rights where you can give out licenses. I know Zeki has one. There's a lot of other ones out there. These will usually come at a higher monthly fee. So if you're earlier on, I wouldn't necessarily recommend mixing these in because they will be kind of expensive. CRM tools, Facebook Chrome extensions, group management, software in a box, PLR products, right? A really powerful one. And I'll give you a real-time example that anybody, so this is a pro tip for anybody that's in Group Juice and you want to make your offer even saucier. Look at getting white label rights for like Group Convert, a software that helps people manage their group. You literally just made a program that talks about group growth even better. And I don't think anybody's doing this right now. Real-time example, right? Digital resources, right? You've likely already accumulated a ton of resources, right? If you've been looking into building an online business, you probably have a Google Drive full of lead magnets and ebooks. And I don't know about you, but I got like 3 Google accounts full of them. So the beauty of this online space is you likely already have a ton of things that you could spin into your own trainings. And I'm not telling anybody to go plagiarize and like go take this doc right here and go drop it in your group. But what you can do, take this exact training, for example, you do a synopsis of what you learned. You take your biggest takeaways and you run a live video inside of a group anywhere, or record a video talking about your biggest lessons on these 4 core pillars. You just created an asset that you can add onto an affiliate program or even giveaways for free, right? That's and that we all have the ability to do this. Swipe files, ebooks, lead magnets, share funnels. The ultimate goal is to make the chances of success with whatever you're selling more likely and easier for your products, right? One of the biggest things, and the way that I like to look at it, is whenever I'm adding bonuses or anything onto a program or a product, is I want to enhance the experience of that product. Right? I want to make the prospects, the person who buys it, I want it to make it better for them, right? At the end of the day, that's the only goal. So
Awesome stuff. What, did you have a comment?
I did. I wanted to chime in. Just curious, how many of you watching this live across these 3 badass communities, how many of you have been in this online game for at least a month or more? Maybe a month to 5 years. All right. We already know us. Okay, got that. So drop a number 1. Drop me a number 1 in the comments if you've been doing this longer than a month. Just drop a 1 in the comment. Longer than 30 days in the online game. And I'm just going to say one thing that you might want to write down. Boom, bunch of 1s coming in. Check this out. What is basic to you is not basic to your audience. The things that you like, everybody knows that. They don't. You could simply do 5 live 15-minute videos and have your own mini course that could be a bonus. It could be a low ticket product of your own. This is the simple shit that people sleep on because
100%.
most people have no idea this world even exists, which in return is why we should create content somewhere every single day. Keep that in mind, guys.
It's really, really powerful because there's 4 stages of learning. Unconscious incompetence, where you don't know what you don't know. And then you've got conscious competence, where you're familiar but you have to think about it. And then it's, no, wait, did I skip one? Anyway, the point being is that at the end of it, you get unconscious competence, where you don't need to think about it. You just do it automatically. And when you've been doing this stuff, like any task, driving is a really good example. You've been doing it for long enough, you kind of forget like all the steps that you take on a day-to-day basis to go do that stuff. So a lot of the time with me, for example, I kind of just forget that there's people that don't know a lot of the stuff that I just inherently know from doing it. So therefore I have to like kind of retrace my steps and think, oh crap, how do I do that? Okay, that's right. Yeah. So that's really, really powerful. And that's, absolute gold nugget there for you guys. Nate, just before you bounce over to something, I'm going to, I've got a little worksheet thing that I've dropped in the section there for the folks. So do you mind if I just hammer that out real quick just to
do it.
Make sure there's something just real. Yeah, and I'll just dominate the screen. But bear in mind, I can't see you guys. So, if you have any questions, then I'll just cough. Look at me. Right. So I've dropped this in the thing there, but this covers basically how to put it all together, which is what Nate was just going over. But what I really wanted to highlight to you guys, and this might be kind of hard for you to see, so let's do that, guy. So this here, I would love to say I invented this, but no, I cannot take credit. This is from a gentleman by the name of Alex Hormozy. And I've heard variants of this before, but I think if you can understand this equation, it is so powerful. It ties into your offer creation, ties into your sales, ties into your content, ties into creating bonuses, all that type of stuff, right? And so quite simply, it's the dream outcome. And so when that is elevated, so dream outcome can be make your first 1K in the next 10 days. Make sure that you're making promises that you believe you can uphold, by the way. Don't make some shit up. But, the dream outcome, but it doesn't have to be a monetary goal, right? It could be, I'll help you create your own personal brand with your Facebook profile in the next 30 minutes, right? Something like that. Perceived likelihood of achievement. So one of the things that it's going to add a massive kibosh on why people won't buy is because they can't see themselves actually achieving those results. And so it's the perceived likelihood of achievement that is going to dictate that. And so that happens with things like testimonials. It happens with the ease in which they can obtain certain things. If there's people that look, feel, and act like they do, have got similar results. Sometimes it's just a big, huge dream outcome that they just believe in anyway. So when these two things are elevated and the time delay to achieve certain results is minimized, times by the effort and sacrifice someone has to go through in order to achieve those results, that's when you manufacture value. This is why people can sell like what we all can sell high ticket, because we understand this, I guess, on a pretty in-depth level. And this is how you manufacture value. So if you guys take nothing else away from this, which I'm going to guess is not going to be the case, I feel like you're probably all going to take quite a lot of stuff away from this particular training. But this here, I think it's so powerful. And like I say, going back to the earlier part of, you can actually skew the numbers in your business. So it's not like 30%, 33%, 33%, 33%. It can be 67% of the heavy lifting is done by your offer, because if you understand these things, then you understand how it ties into everything else. With bonuses, and the reason why I wanted to bring this up now is Nate was covering different things like using PLR and developing your own bonuses, things like that. But think about how the naming convention of those things goes. It's like things that minimize the time it takes, like a done-for-you funnel, for example. Like if I say, hey, go build your own funnel, most of you go, what the heck's a funnel, man? What are you talking about? But it sounds complex already. But if I say I've got this whole done-for-you thing that is going to, you can deploy it in the next 10 minutes. You can have a fully functioning funnel up and running over the next 10 minutes. So that's the dream outcome. This funnel, by the way, is allowed me to scale to over 100K in the last 40 days, or whatever, right? And so therefore, dream outcome, perceived likelihood of achievement, because it's all done for you. Time delay, because it's only going to take 10 minutes to swipe, and effort and sacrifice. Oh, by the way, it's actually all you need to do is open an account here, click this link, and you can swipe the entire thing. Oh my God, amazing. So now that bonus has a way higher perceived value. Hopefully this is all kind of making sense there. I won't bother going too in depth with this stuff, but this is just kind of how you can start to extract all those components Nate was going through. So unpacking, how can you support your customers, what incentives like bonuses, all that type of stuff. But the other thing I really did want to just cover on as well is as affiliates, you can't control the cart page of the product that you're promoting, right? And so, but think about one of the other things that makes people want to buy stuff is the elimination of risk. And there's risk it's actually not just as linear as like one singular risk. It's like risk of looking dumb to their friends, or humiliation, or like risk of losing money, or risk of getting scammed, all that type of stuff, right? And so if you can minimize that, then now all of a sudden we've like eased the way in which people can jump into the offer. They're like, okay, it seems like I can take that advantage of that. So this is done by things like guarantees, refunds, money backs. As Nate said, he actually highlighted that as I will work with you until you achieve X. Pay if it doesn't work. I've got on one of my low ticket products, and I've got some big cojones to put this one out, but I've actually got it on two of them, which is one is I will pay you $50 if it doesn't work. So I will give you a refund and also pay you for wasting your time. Another one I've got is if you haven't quadrupled the investment on that, I will actually pay the difference. Obviously there's caveats. People have to go and deploy them. And if you're an affiliate and you're highlighting, hey, but the only way you're going to be able to make a proper decision is by actually seeing what's on the inside of this, and it has a refund policy. Some products like SAA don't, because we want to make sure people jump into this all full gusto. Then you can highlight that. So now what you're doing is you're adding all those things together, the dream outcome, perceived likelihood of achievement, plus this one massive thing, which is minimization of risk as well. So I'm not going to spend any more time here. Just wanted to throw that out there. This is included in the links that I threw there before, but just wanted to put that out there. So I hope that makes sense. Any thoughts on that, guys?
Cool. I'll add something real quick before Nate gets back fired up. Like, I'm just curious, like how many folks here have something to sell for at least $1,000 to $10,000? Like if you do, just put OG in the comments. $1,000 to $10,000 offer right now. For those of you that are like, who the fuck would sell something for that much? I want to blow you guys' minds because, again, most people out in the world have no idea that folks are out here closing $1,000 deals, $10,000 deals, $100,000 deals. All right, folks are out here making $50,000, $100,000, $1 million a month based on the principles we're covering today. Right? Prime example: our smallest month this year was 18 grand. Our biggest month was 51,000. Let that sink in, because the average median salary in my small ass town is $31,000. Right? So if you got something for $1,000 to $10,000, you might. Do you think like I got a really good offer? It's priced at $1,000. It's a really good offer. All right. So let's pretend someone buys from you today. What's the first thing you're gonna do for them? Right. I want you to think about this long and hard. Pun intended. What's the process you're going to take them through? What is going to be the outcome of them getting your help, your support, or maybe the coaches or mentors inside the program you're selling them? What's it going to do for them? This is what you need to be putting in your content. This is what's going to do the heavy lifting for you guys. If you can show them the outcome and the plan to achieve the shit that they want and like what it's going to look like, the price isn't going to fucking matter. I can think of a couple names where, perfect example. I told them what I was going to help them do, how we were going to do it, and about how long it would take based on their work ethic. They was like, fuck, I'm in. I was like, you don't want to hear the price? I was like, I don't care. I'll go take out a loan if I have to. And they took out a loan. And the last 8 months, they've done over $70,000 and quit their job. Crazy shit, right? So show them the plan, make it make sense, and the price is just going to be nothing. Put this in your content. There you go.
Price is elastic. You know, like we often think, because we're so used to consuming in a way that is, I don't know, like a lot of us can't wrap our heads around selling something for 5K, 10K, 20K, whatever it is. But when you understand the value equation and what Flip was discussing then as well about selling the plan, and people can conceptualize how that's going to look, then you're already halfway there, right? And so therefore, all of a sudden, that price becomes very, very elastic. That's how you manufacture value.
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. So we'll dive into some traffic, right? And I want to preface, I don't mean to sound biased. I just had bad experiences with a lot of traffic. As Jamie mentioned in the beginning, right, is virtually any traffic source, any sales process can and will work with enough work, right? This is the way that I would steer people, and this is the way that I do steer people to start with, right? So paid traffic versus free content creation, right? There's a lot of complexities to running paid ads, and I would not recommend starting there. It can be highly expensive to test. It's not as easy as a lot will paint it, right? You can turn on an ad and then you just print money. That's not the case. It's you have to test a lot of different stuff, and you need a big budget, right? And you don't have to run ads to have a ton of success. It's a big misconception, right? If you're talking about scaling to 10 figures, 8 figures, yeah, you're probably going to need some ads. But we've done multiple 6 figures this year with 100% free content creation, right? $51,000 a month, free content, right? 100% of our business is free content. So just wanted to preface the difference in traffic sources, search traffic, platforms where people are looking on things, blogging, YouTube, right? Can usually be slow to pick up momentum, but as you're having to cater a lot of your content create around specific topics, specific subjects, right? You have to cater your actual content towards what people are actually looking at, right? I put out 100 blog posts, 296,000 words on my blog, 3 actual books worth of content before I ever made a sale from my blog. Partly my fault, but
Nate, just on that one, for context for everyone, how long did that take you to do that?
I wrote like a madman, so I did it relatively quickly. I did it in the span of like 7 months. So I think I was probably writing like at least 4,000 words a day after work on a blog.
You absolute psycho. That's crazy.
Yeah, psychotic, bro. So I went from having no blog to having a massive blog in like the span of 8 months.
Yeah.
But the benefit is to these search platforms like YouTube or TikTok, not TikTok. Oh my God, I can't speak. YouTube or blogging is once you start getting traffic from them, you'll be getting them for a prolonged period of time, right? Some of the blog posts that I wrote years ago, I still rank for, right? It's once you start ranking and it's relevant, it will stay relevant for a long time. They just take a while to pick up, right? That's the reality of it. Quick proactive strategies where you can bootstrap your business and be in full control of your success and sales, right? As I mentioned in the beginning of this call, that was where my business changed with Jamie. I was coming off of the back end of running a massive blog, and I was burnt the fuck out because I was just writing these blog posts and I was sitting on my hands waiting. Like, oh, well, hopefully I get traffic. Right?
Any day now. I know it's coming any second. It's coming.
Refreshing my Gmail looking for sales that never came.
I want to add something real quick. I saw the other chat thread too. My bad, dude. But I'm just curious here. You know, I'm that guy that asks questions because I'm curious about you guys in the audience, like seriously. But how many of you would like love to get messages that say things like, "Hey man, been following you for a while. I've been seeing your content. Can you break down the price of your thing? Like, I'm ready to hop in." If you would love comments like that, then drop me a number 2, right? Or messages that say, "Hey dude, I've had enough. I've seen all I needed to see. Can you send me the link for XYZ?" Right? Number 2, you want people messaging you like that, right? Now, I went through the ads thing in like 2018, 2019. Haven't spent nothing on ads ever since. Now, the messages I just said, those are messages that I've gotten this week for folks that have spent at least $1,000 or more with me because of my content and my organic traffic, the ecosystem that we've been speaking on, right? This is the power when you can put these couple buckets together, these core pillars that we're covering. That's the power. Someone that sees you today, you better bet your ass if you stay consistent with the content side of things on how we teach it, then it could be 2 weeks, it might be 30 days, it might be 45 days. They're eventually going to hit you up and say, "Hey, I'm ready. I'm ready to buy." Right?
On that one
You
as
might hear
well,
me. Yeah, go ahead.
the cool thing is as well, once you learn to dial your content in a little bit, yeah, it can take a protracted time, but every piece of content you're putting out is reigniting that flame, it's reaffirming that message. And so what you'll find, and I'll guarantee you the same thing with these lads as well, is it doesn't always take an extended period of time for people to convert. Like, I've had people jump into my audience completely cold, never even heard of me before, become a buyer of a low ticket offer within 3 hours, and then a high ticket buyer within 27 hours. Like, literally just whoever you are solving my pain points enough, and I've read enough, absorbed enough of your content in your free group to go, this is the pathway that I need. So it can happen really, really quickly is the point I was just going to chime in with.
Yeah, and a really powerful
that was really
real
the
story.
Point I was making.
And a really powerful real story that I like to highlight, especially that I just elaborated all this energy that I was putting into a blog. I think it was 8 days after implementing Facebook, I made my first high ticket sale. Right, that was like not a fluffed up number. That's the reality of it. I spent months and months creating all this content, struggling to making a transition into Facebook, and I made my first high ticket sale. Right. So quick proactive strategies where you can bootstrap your business and be in full control of the sales and the success. Right. That's a big thing. Being able to control your business is a huge one. Right. You want to go out and you want to produce some money, you can do that. Right. It's virtually on you. Facebook profile. Yes. The profile that you're staying in touch with your friends and family on can turn into a 100K business more. Right. And I know this for a fact because in 2017, I was using my ex-girlfriend's Facebook to stay in contact with friends and family. I didn't have social media because I was up to some not so great activities. Facebook group of your own.
How very clandestine.
Building your brand on your business on Facebook is by far one of my favorite ways. This is where my business completely changed. And the big benefit to this is there's a very awesome synergy to the ability to post content and connect directly with your audience, right? I like to look at my Facebook profile as like your email list, right? Each friend that you have, each follower that you acquire on your Facebook profile is like somebody on your email list. Each piece of content that you put out is like an email, right? And instead of waiting, 15 minutes to respond back and forth with emails, is you can literally just connect with them directly inside of Messenger off of that piece of content, right? Very quick, proactive, right? Those are the main pillar. Now we'll talk about viral traffic strategies. This is like putting gasoline on the fire, right? If we take your profile and the fundamental stuff like the marketing, the sales, the content. We're going to pour some gasoline onto that fire, right? Viral traffic strategies, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Pinterest ideas, Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels. These are an absolute gold mine, especially if you use them correctly, right?
Yeah.
You can literally take one piece of content, short form video, and you could explode your business. In the last 2 weeks, we've had 2 Group G students take one video, literally one video, and take their group over to like over 500 members in their communities off one piece of content.
And I want to add, one of them is, I'm pretty sure they might even be over 1,000 by now. But if you notice, a lot of the bigger names right now are saying, "Oh, jump on Reels, they're blowing up. This is the new thing." And me and Nate were telling people about them like 6 months ago. We've been talking about this for like months now, and other folks are just now catching on. Like even saw he's probably a 10-figure earner at this point, but saying, "Hey, we got a Facebook Reel training coming out." We were talking about it 6 months ago. So if you're not on this right now, if you're creating on TikTok, if you're creating Facebook stories, like I don't care what kind of short form video content you're creating, you need to have your shit on Facebook Reels. And God forbid, you better have a Facebook community. If I ask Jamie, or if I ask Nate, or you go find any 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-figure earner online, I will bet your ass they have a Facebook group that helps them with their client getting system. I will bet your ass.
Groups are gold mine when done correctly.
Yes.
What's really interesting is Nate, and this actually ties into the viral stuff as well, which is you guys have obviously mastered that aspect. For context, though, you can be both proactive and leverage attraction marketing as part of your overall traffic strategy as well. And I think these guys do the same stuff. So obviously the bulk of what they do is like getting the virality going to get lead flow coming through. Where I differ ever so slightly is most of my energy is in sort of proactive lead flow. And what I mean by that is like targeted going, okay, bang, I'm going to go find X number of people that fit these criteria, which there's no right or wrong with this. And I guess that's the beauty of having Facebook, is that you can literally go out there and have a one-to-one conversation, or you can have a one-to-many approach through Reels, through stories, through all that type of stuff as well. So I guess the crux of all that is that there's many ways to work this game in your favor, and it has that 100%. Capacity to do both as well.
Yeah, and to go back to like the messages I was telling you guys about, where y'all dropped the 2, you want folks messaging you. I openly talk about pricing. Why do I do that? Because what Jamie just said, I want them to know I sell shit, but it's not just any shit. It's transformational shit. You want to be a completely different person? You want to become a person of value? You want to know how to sell? How many of you out here see folks, I don't know what to sell? Well, first you got to know how to sell. Then you can figure out what you want to sell. If you don't know how to sell, I don't know why the hell you're worrying about what you're going to sell. All right? Makes sense? But I openly talk about price because I want folks to know, hey, I'm not giving away all of my shit for free, even though you guys are getting a paid training right now for free. But my point is, if I'm out here saying, hey, it's $6,000 to get in our core accelerator for 6 months of coaching, or you can pay $1,000 a month. That's what it is. If I'm talking about that in my content, and then I talk about, hey, folks are blowing up their groups, going from 66 to 1,000 members, and then closing high ticket sales, with 1 to 2 to 3 videos, monetizing their group, it only costs $1,000 one time. You see what I just did? I anchored everything at the 6,000, and then I talked about results that are coming out of the other thing that's way less. So when folks finally reach out, they already know that I have something for sale. They know that I have things from $100 to $10,000, and they're going to pick which one's going to be a better fit based off of the content I'm producing around the pricing. Does that make sense?
100%, man. It's powerful stuff. Yep. You can use that as a trust builder as well. like something that I do quite a lot of is, I've got, just for context, obviously, I got my own stuff, Ultimate Marketing Mastermind. I'm a coach for Super Affiliate Accelerator, which these boys are in as well. And so often we'll talk about SAA being $3,000 or my own coaching 5K plus or whatever. And so when I have those conversations with people and they're not necessarily even sure if it's the right thing, I'm like, well, I have no interest in selling to someone that it can't serve them. So, here's this low ticket front end thing, which is going to at least give you a bit of an indoctrination as to who I am, how I operate, whether you actually like me and like what we're doing or not, and you can make a decision from there. Meaning that, in effect, you're actually looking after your audience a lot better rather than just going, cool, I can make a sale now. It's like, well, does that actually help them out? and that works really well. It means that your conversion rate's really strong.
Yeah, I think you bring up a really good point, because in the back end, I think one of the biggest disconnects for a lot of newer affiliates is, like, if you can maintain a really good relationship with somebody and you have a good experience with somebody, even if you sell them one affiliate product, they'll usually end up buying more than one thing from you, right?
Yeah.
Like we have people in our core accelerator, our 6-month coaching program right now that's literally probably bought just about every product over the last couple of years, right? And it started with those relationships, right? Prioritizing building those actual connections with the people that buy. I'm not necessarily just leaving them high and dry once they buy.
Yeah. Yep. They're actually, I think the stats are like 12 times more likely to buy based on your recommendation again. And so this is why, like, even if you're selling the low ticket stuff, and obviously the focus in terms of the lifetime customer value should be for high ticket, because you need a lot less of them to make a significant income. But having said that, if you're able to give someone a really good experience on a low ticket item, they're just, you're going to be the focal point when they're looking for recommendations for the most part.
Sweet. I'll jump on conversions. Out of curiosity, again, we got just under 6 months left in the year. Who here is planning to get control of their cash flow? Like, you want to go into Christmas like, I'm gonna buy what the fuck I want type shit, right? If you are, drop a Xmas or a Christmas in the comments. If you want to get control of your cash flow to where you can take your offer and sell it predictably and repeatably every single month, drop me a Christmas in the chat. I'm gonna jump over and talk about conversions. Breaking down these different parts of the sales process doesn't have to be as complicated as I see most people making it. Okay, seriously, there's literally 15, 20, 30 different ways you can sell something. You can either do it with content covering most of it. You can do it in Messenger. You can do it on sales calls like Jamie. You can do Google Docs. You can do funnels. For me, I suck at tech. Anybody else suck at tech? But I'm rather good at selling. Jamie himself had said something about my tonality. Like, I like to give you guys the real and raw shit, and I'm an empath. I can feel emotion. I use that to my advantage ethically. All right? Seen a lot of struggle in my day. But again, the biggest thing is finding what works for you. So I'm another big advocate on testing and tweaking and finding something that you're good at so that you can leverage your strong points. One of my strong points happens to be offers and selling. I'm good at it. All right. So I lean on that. Just like everybody else has their own strong points. Okay. Now, your content style, that needs to be you. Quick tip, write this down. However the fuck you talk is how you need to write and show up in your videos. Whether it's a training, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, I don't care. Don't be out here being all articulate talking about, yes, today we're going to cover sales and marketing, and we're going to keep it super professional. And then you get on a coaching call like, all right, motherfuckers, here's what we're going to do. People are going to be really confused. All right? Y'all with me? Write how you really talk. This is me. This is what you get. Ask any of our clients. Ask anybody in group juice, SAA. Ask Jamie, ask Nate. This is me. I am the beardy McSwear man. I just tell it like it is. All right. Now, for like the response factor, stroking the Facebook algorithm, that was something I really didn't want to do, but in the beginning stages, you need to, so you can build your momentum. Okay. And what we mean by stroke the algorithm is looking for other folks, commenting and engaging, dropping a heart on a post that you really like, right? I'm not going to tell you to go out here and like some content that you think is garbage, because you're going to see more of it. So I really, when I was doing this, only like the things that you really vibe with. Okay. And send them a message. Hey man, I really love that post that you covered about lead generation. That was absolutely awesome. Who'd you learn that from? So not only are you stroking the algorithm, you're going to stroke their ego too. We don't do this to be egotistical assholes. We do this to build a connection. Everybody's got their guard up. I don't know who grew up fighting like me, but everybody's got their guard up. I'm just waiting on somebody to blindside me, right? That's what people are doing on social media right now. They're like, this motherfucker's about to sell me. I know it's coming. So totally disconnect from that and just build a connection. Like, hey, bro, put your guard down, right? I just want to talk to you. Good job on your content. It's awesome. If you see mine, let me know if it sucks or you like it, okay? Now, next, moving directly into like sales combo, that's only going to be folks that know who you are already or have been following you for a while, okay? Keep it hyper-personalized. If you guys have been interacting on each other's content, maybe it's on TikTok, Facebook, wherever, right? You've maybe been talking back and forth. You can ease into the sales combo quicker than you could someone that's absolutely cold, right? This is actually a really good outreach, way to do targeted outreach, like Jamie's talked about, but still going to compliment. You're still going to show up as, you and authentic, okay? Because we're really just trying to see if we can help them. Like, hey man, I see you're doing really well with XYZ. Would you be cool if I told you the next couple things to look out for as you get better and better? Just as a friend. Cool. If you can point out a problem that they're going to run into, or one that you can help them not run into, they'll love you forever. All right. Personalized messages. Some folks are not going to respond. Don't get caught up. I've sent 20 messages, only 3 of them responded. Cool. Focus on the 3. Go and send 20 more. Right? Eventually, they will come back. If you got folks that aren't really, replying or opening your messages, go find something on their profile or on their account. Engage on it. Right? Like, hey man, I sent you a message. They're going to go check it out. Quick tip, secret sauce, send them a voice clip in Messenger. They're going to be more inclined to open it because they're like, fuck, what did they say? It's 33 seconds. What did they say? Hey. All right. Now,
Yep.
Y'all like that? Now, kind of right here around, anybody want to add anything to that? Because I'm like fired up. I'm in my zone.
Go for it, mate. I'm just happy. I'm happy just listening.
Okay. Good deal. Read the combos. Stay aware of like where folks are at. If they're being short with you, like you're sending them a couple sentences and they're just really short, then look to pivot. That means you're probably being a little too pushy. Look to pivot and make it more about them. Here we go, Jamie.
Sorry to cut your train of thought off, man. Something just popped into my head, but with that one in particular, from not to get too woo-woo, but like from an energetic basis, you can actually physically see it. And if you're in Messenger and you're communicating with someone that's like thumbs up, hi, good, thanks, like, and you're like, my dearest Flip, how lovely to hear from you once again. I hope you're having a splendid day. Like if there's like a disconnect between the amount of energy you're putting in and vice versa, it means there's a trust factor. They either don't give a crap or they just don't trust you. And they're like, this person's trying to sell me. And so that's why, and so I just wanted to throw that in there because I think like if you're hoping maybe if I keep talking at them, they're going to like open up eventually. And that's when you got to remove it from self. You got to take it away from what you want, which is I want to get this person over to do the thing and understand that there's a human on the other side of that. You need to relate to them and what they are doing, what they're interested in, what ultimately helps them out. And there's a whole bunch of ways you can do that, but I wanted to chime in with that. So I think sometimes we forget. Anyway, sorry, man.
It's a really easy disconnect, It's a really easy one. Like forgetting that the other person is like actual person. Like everybody on this live right now is a human being, right? It's a hard. I mean, conversations aren't linear, right? So being able to read the convo, right? That's one thing that I see a lot. And I did a lot is like sending offers to people I probably shouldn't have sent offers to because they weren't in the conversation with me. Like, oh yeah, cool. Hey, welcome to the group.
Yeah.
Thumbs up. Okay, here's an offer.
Yep.
Why would they buy?
Yeah. Sweet. You're like, what a great day's work that was.
Really? I mean, seriously. You hear everybody throwing the word lead around. Like lead, that's just a marketing term. But like everybody has said, we're all fucking humans, guys. We all have things that we want. We have goals that we want to accomplish. And I've learned that if I can find the right human that I can pay to help me go faster, I'm going to gladly pay him. And I did that, and it's turned out to work very, very well. Hence, I've been home full time with my wife and kids for over 2 years now. It's pretty awesome, right? But
awesome,
are you guys liking this? Is this training being helpful? Because if so, I mean,
is anyone actually getting any value out of this, or us three just up here like on our high horses, splurting out knowledge, and no one's actually vibing with it?
Yeah.
Drop a one if you're getting value.
Drop a hashtag emoji.
If you think we suck.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you do, tell us to say this is the shittest live training we've ever been on. No, Tony, that wasn't an invitation. Piss off.
Awesome. All right. I'm gonna try and run through more of these really quick, just to get us through, because I know y'all are probably tired of looking at us now. But places to really kickstart off your messaging, right? Because if you don't know, there's money in Messenger. Say it with me: money in Messenger. Only for the right people, though. Okay. Newly added friends, sending over a DM directly to their profile, giving them some feedback on something, right? I just talked about that. Now, on their stories, check this out. Folks that view your stories, it shows you on Facebook who viewed it. You can reach out and say, hey, man, thanks for viewing my story where I was talking about X. Really, really appreciate it. What was your favorite thing about it, right? What was your biggest takeaway? Small talk. Small talk eventually will lead to 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, right? If they vibe with you. If not, secret sauce again, make it cool for people to tell you no. Might want to write that down. Give them the option to say, nah, this isn't for me. Totally cool, bro. Let's stay in touch. If I can help you in any way, I'll catch you on the flip side. Go ahead, Jamie.
So something how dare you, Tony? I didn't even read the rest of the comment. So something that has been a bit of a game changer. I learned this from damn it, I don't know who to give credit to. Might have been Hormozy, actually. Don't quote me on that one. Anyway, but basically, a lot of the time it's, hey, would you like to check this out? But what I started understanding is that the power in allowing people to say no and feel comfortable with it, because me personally, I don't have the time to fuck around. If I don't want to be chasing someone endlessly if they're like, oh yeah, I'll think about it. Okay. Like, I would rather just go, no, thanks. Hey, no worries. Thanks so much for letting me know. Right. And so one of the ways that you can actually get more opportunities out there is to say, and again, I'm going to model flip here and say, you might want to write this down, but would you be opposed to, would it be a completely ridiculous idea to get some help scaling your business? No, it wouldn't be. Right. And so you're targeting the negative, but you actually get a positive response, because then people feel safer saying no. Would it be a crazy idea if we were to hop on a quick Zoom call and I can kind of explain how my business works and whether that's something that's going to help you out? No, it wouldn't be a crazy idea. It sounds like a bloody good idea. Let's do it. All right. Bang. Easy sales. So, but you can use it with anything. Would you be opposed to checking out what we're up to and see if it's the right pathway for you? No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Cool. There you go.
Smooth.
Sorry.
Smooth, right?
And
yep, all
that's
good,
a big
man.
thing is like, helping people feel like it's two-pronged, right? Is like you want people to feel like it's okay to say no, because it is okay to say no, but also getting to the no quicker, because it's going to allow you to understand if like you as a business owner need to move on, right? Like I have a buddy who's in like 1099 sales. He sells solar, right? And he's like, the main thing they teach us is like get to the no as fast as possible, right? Because like then okay, well, on to the next, right?
Yeah. Boom sauce. Want me to keep going, Nate?
Yeah, if you want, or I can dive in. It doesn't matter.
Sure.
Right. So we're breaking down different sales processes here. Sales calls, Zoom or phone, right? Sales calls can be kind of tricky in earlier stages. If you don't have prior sales experience, my experience is I ended up booking a ton of sales calls with people who weren't looking to buy. It's because I would just get on a call with anybody and everybody. But as you notice, I think the biggest lesson that the majority of everybody in here can take is it doesn't matter. The stuff that we're talking about you can use these strategies, right? Jamie does calls. Flip and myself, we don't really do calls, right? You can leverage these same concepts and pillars to scale and grow whatever process you want to be using, right? Earlier stages can be good to book as many calls as you can so you get comfortable on camera and you get comfortable presenting offers. That was one of the biggest things that I struggled with personally was I would get on a call, I would just deliver all this value and I would never ask for the sale. And then I wonder why I wasn't making money. Different ways you can do calls, right? You have like triage calls. You can do like a 15-minute strategy session. These can be really good because you can use them to kind of reduce the time that you're spending in Messenger building rapport, right? A quick 15-minute call. I wouldn't necessarily look at these like you're on there to make an offer. It's more of like quickly establish rapport, help them get a quick win, peer goodwill, pre-qualify for an actual sales call. This is one that I actually picked up off of Flip way before we started working together, was a one quick win strategy, getting on a really quick 15-minute call, giving them one win, because then once that actually starts working for them, they're going to be more inclined to buy from you, right? Hey, I'm struggling with setting my group up. Cool. Let's get on a 15-minute call and I'll help you set up your Facebook group. Help them do it. They're like, hey, my group's moving and shaking. They already have a connection with you. You help them do something for free, right? Stacked up testimonials, validate. You can use these quick win strategies to validate your own brand and stack up testimonials. Can help you get comfortable without being much pressure on yourself. If you're new to sales, this can be very beneficial because you are not actually getting on these quick triage calls to actually make an offer, right? So it's about you too. You can start getting comfortable on sales calls because you're not actually making an offer, right? Usually, Jamie might have some better feedback on this because I'm not a seasoned pro at calls. So unless they've showed extreme interest at the end of like your little triage calls, I wouldn't usually recommend pivoting into a full-on sales call. But I'm sure Jamie has a hack.
Yeah, a couple of things I just want to chime in with. Actually, I was going to ask you a question, Nate. So I think if I remember correctly, you do say that on occasion you might still hop on a call, but it's pretty rare these days.
Yep.
So yeah, cool. So follow-up question. Your close rate on those will be like astronomically high, right?
Yeah. The close 100%. Rate on would be like 100%, and that's not like a fluffed up number. I want to say that Flip and myself, we've probably only got on maybe 3 calls this entire year, and every single one of them has jumped into our 6-month coaching program.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it wasn't a loaded question. I was just painting some context. So I also have an exceptionally high close rate with my sales calls. And the reason for that is because we've learned the process of allowing your content to do a lot of that heavy lifting for you, which aims to break down false beliefs. It aims to break down mental barriers that people might have and start to indoctrinate folks into certain things and certain ways of thinking about things. So that way, as Flip said, before, every now and then he'll get, well, it's probably daily these days, but he'll get a message saying, don't care where do I sign up? This is bloody awesome, right? And so the reason for that, and so I'm the same, but sometimes I'm like, I actually, because I work in close proximity with my one-on-ones, I want to vet people. I don't necessarily I want to gauge who they are. That's why I hop on calls. And again, it means that the quote unquote sales calls they're not really even that. It's just more like a bit of a Q&A. I have a giggle with them, and we kind of go from there. Off the back of the 15-minute stuff is something I've started redoing again, because I stopped doing them for quite some time. So I'm just kind of going back to raw basics these days. And one of the things that you highlighted there in terms of getting testimonials, which is really, really super powerful. If you're in your early stages and you're like, well, why would anyone buy from me? Because I'm little old me and I'm new and I don't know anything. I haven't made sales, blah, blah, blah. Like, just dismiss that for starters. But like, instead of focusing on how do I make sales, consider how can I serve my audience? How can I help these people out? And if you go into a call and you make it abundantly clear, like, hey, this is not a sales call. I'm not trying to like use some trickery to get you onto a sales call, the old bait and switch, like, smile and dial bullshit worked in the 80s maybe, but like, you're not actually trying to do that. Your intention is solely to try and help them out just a little bit, to try and get them a couple of steps ahead of where they were. In exchange, there is an exchange there, because otherwise you're just giving your time for free for a testimonial. And if you can leverage that, even like if you're on a Zoom and you just record like a little patch that said, hey, this has been so helpful. Thank you so much. You got so much clarity out of it. Really appreciate it. Now you have social proof. And so now you can leverage that to create your own sense of authority. Plus the fact that those testimonials you're getting, there's very high likelihood those people are going to come back to get help with other things. And they might go, actually, I saw that you're promoting this product. Like, how do we get involved in that? So don't dismiss how some of these simple things can have a massive impact on your overall branding as well.
Love it.
Anyway,
it's crazy.
Sorry. Cut your train of thought off.
Yeah. So at this, I won't talk your guys' ears off too much, because this doc is pretty beefy. But the biggest thing, as Jamie just mentioned, was the reason that the calls become relatively easy is because he's using his content to do a lot of the lifting prior to the calls, right? So the biggest overarching thing is like it all kind of works together, right? Your content, your sales process, the pillars that we're dialing in and we're talking about here, right? As Jamie's mentioned quite a few times, is the weight, right? Your offer can pick up a lot of the weight. So then the other portions are like your content and then your sales process, right? And in each one of these weights can change depending on what you're doing, where you're at, what type of mode you're in, which is a whole nother thing. Right. So
I want to add in something real quick. It kind of ties into what you just said too, Nate, but it'll also answer Riley's question. Where do you draw the line in offering free help? So I'm assuming, Riley, I'm not 100% sure exactly what your expertise is, but I'm assuming that you probably get some of the same questions every month, right? So if you don't have any assets in place that are answering these questions and pre-selling on whatever the hell it is that you sell, that's one way that you can kind of get rid of the freebie seekers, right? Because a perfect example, we're running this training. We're literally giving you guys thousands of dollars of knowledge that we've invested, right? And a small percentage of you will take this information and apply it and go and make a shit ton of money. I know you will, but it's only going to be a small percentage. Now, the next bigger percentage, some of you might be thinking, yeah, I could see myself working with these guys, right? This is where the free value stops. Like, we're giving you guys the sauce right now. And that small percentage will take it and run with it and go and close more sales and be like, fuck yeah, and eventually buy from us anyway. Just the reality of it. Now, there's another handful of folks that are watching this now or will see it later and be like, I want these guys' help, right? So that's going to be the paid. So it's like you can give away all the information you want to. Something else I picked up from Jacob. It's like you can explain your exact process on how you do shit. But what you're really selling is the accountability, the support, the coaching, and the know-how. Like, how do you actually deploy it? Like, hey, I'll help you build the plan, push you to deploy it, and help you along the path to make sure you hit XYZ goal. That's what everybody here is really selling, right? That's where the exchange of money happens, right? So how do you really get rid of the free folks? You got to be blunt. Like, hey, bro, I've got this resource, these resources that are going to cover this, and this, right? If you can't do anything with that, then you probably need a coach or a mentor. Glad to chat with you to see what that looks like, but you've fully exerted all of your free coaching. Draw that line. If they get pissed off, they're probably not somebody you want to work with anyway. So make sure you protect your energy, because there's a lot of freebie seekers out there. Protect your energy. Focus on the people that see the value in what you do. Like, there might be somebody in the audience now, no pun intended, like, just like, fuck these guys. That's okay. It's okay. All right. I'm just telling you the reality of it. That's what I would do. That's how I would handle it. That's how I handle my freebie folks. Like, maybe Jamie can add or Nick can add, but that's me.
Yeah, it's a really good question. And just for context as well, like, it's really easy to fall into that thing, because most of us, I'm going to say, most of us have a good heart. Most of us want to help people. Like, yes, the money is attractive with affiliate marketing and coaching, all that type of stuff, but I think it goes a bit deeper. And I think the more you dive into this, the more you genuinely want to serve it. It kind of manifests. And so therefore it can be really, really hard. And as Flip said, to work out where your energy is going. But end of the day, a lot of this can be avoided through polarizing in your content. And so one of the tricky parts, though, is that when you're in what I call the pre-validation phase, it's like when you're seeing all this stuff, you're seeing these big numbers getting thrown around, and you're like, well, that's not me. I'm like, I haven't even had my first sale yet. So it can be a little bit harder to polarize. But when you have, and for those folks that have had a bit of traction, you state things in your content about who you choose to work with and who you don't choose to work with. And you can get into the nth degree. And polarization, it's not about just overtly being a dick for no reason. Like, you're not like, hey, here's my political opinion and fuck everyone else. It's more about, listen, here's who I can serve based on my current knowledge and expertise and experience. And these are the people that I cannot serve and I do not wish to. Not because I think they're bad people. It's just that they aren't at that, again, sorry for the woo-woo, but they're not in energetic alignment with where I'm heading with my life and business. And it can be really simple things. It's like, one of the reasons why I found the success that I have is because I've found mentors and invested in my own growth. Last course I brought was worth X number of dollars. And so if people start seeing that stuff, they're like, shit, this dude's serious. Like, okay, they're investing in the growth of their business. And the reason why, they've been able to get to where they are is because they've had 5+ years experience and 10+ years and millions of dollars are sold. Like, okay, well, far out. Okay, I don't want to waste their time then, especially if you're putting it in your content. You're like telling those people to sod off in a nice way. And like I say, it's not about being a dick for no reason. It's just being very like adamant, like, this is who I can serve. And if people like keep coming back and messenger, you can say, look, I'm happy to help you out. However, I think it has to have a limit to how much I can help you out, because otherwise I'm not really doing justice to my paid coaching students as well. So you can start putting those kind of boundaries in place with that stuff.
Yeah, and the really powerful thing is, like, over prolonged periods of time, is it gets less and less, right? And this is I used to have a really big problem with freebie seekers, because that's I would give away free lead magnets and hope they turn into sales. But to like now where I'm at in my business, I very rarely get them because of my content. Yeah. Talking about investments, talking about who this isn't for, talking about hard work, talking about different price points of products and how much things are going to cost to actually get started, right? Even if it's just like vaguely planting seeds, right? Oh, I have a 4-figure per month client. Somebody who wants anything and everything for free is not even going to come onto that piece of content, because they're automatically going to assume that I'm going to get them on a 4-figure a month coaching program or something like that.
Also, you'll find, I think you guys would have experienced this as well, is that like you kind of get a sixth sense after a while, because you can feel like, it sounds weird, but you feel this like, I don't know if anyone watches Stranger Things, but it's like that thing that like tries to take all your energy and stuff, and you can kind of see it in the way they're writing. Is like, hey, do you have 5 minutes just to answer a couple of questions? I'm like, immediately red flag. Cool. Here's my Calendly link with a $200 price tag attached to it. Like, if you want to get an hour coaching, Like, because I know where their mindset is at. I absolutely know it straight away. And it's not, and again, that's not me trying to sit here on my high horse sounding like an absolute twat, but like you don't have the luxury of time. That's what people just, I think we assume that we've got decades left, but we don't have the luxury of time. And so I'm not going to allow mine to get wasted by someone where, especially if there's free information everywhere as well. So anyway.
Yeah. And last thing I'll say before we move on is, if you're not showing up as a buyer, don't go out here expecting people to buy shit from you. You can write that one down, right? If you're out here like, I don't know why people aren't buying me, you're trying to sell something that you don't even know about, you never used, never bought. Yeah, good luck. For real. Show up as a buyer, you have buyers show up to you. It's just
there's an energetic misalignment. Sorry to cut you off. Now you got me bloody triggered, flipping. God damn it. But there's an energetic misalignment, because if people think, okay, well, I'm not going to go buy the thing, but I want everyone else to buy the thing from me. Like if it's a circle, the circle breaks down. Because like, how does that work? Where's the money going to come from? If you don't want to like practice what you preach, then why should anyone else? How are you going to be a viable entity, a brand, anything, and attract who you want if you can't, put your money where your mouth is when it comes to that stuff? So anyway.
So I'll try to run through these quick because I know we are getting pretty long, but it was to be expected. It was gonna be a long one, right? Dynamics on calls, right? You're not necessarily there to give them the farm or solve all of their problems, right? There's nothing wrong with giving a ton of value. It can just get dangerous if you're not comfortable with asking for the sale, right? Because nobody's just gonna be like, very rarely people are gonna be like, okay, I'm ready to buy. Sell me something. Hey, you gave me a strategy. Now I'm ready to buy. It doesn't happen. Say less. One of the hardest parts about sales calls, especially for me, I get excited and I just dominate the entire conversation and I don't let the client talk. And that's not what you want. That's not the dynamic you want for the sales conversation in general. It's about them. It's about you solving their problems. It's about you giving them the product that will solve their problems. So if you dominate the entire conversation and you just talk the entire time, you're not going to have any ammo, or you're not even going to really have an understanding of what they're looking for, because you just cram stuff down their throat. Kind of goes hand in hand with talking less. Listen to what they're actually saying, right? People will tell you everything they need to know about the product, right? And this is something I picked up from Jacob because I watched the hour-long sales class by him for probably 6 months straight every day. Give direct answers to their questions and leave it there. If somebody asks you the price, you don't need to tell them the price. And then there's 762 different features. They didn't ask you that. They asked you one thing, answer the question. If they need to know more, they will ask you more. That's it, right? Another thing, phone, kind of the same thing as sales calls. This is something I picked up from Sam Ovens when I took his consulting accelerator. You can leverage the power of silence, something that you can't do on Zoom call, because it would be really awkward if you're on a Zoom call and you just don't say anything. I
often don't say anything on Zoom. So anyway.
Yeah. So the real power of leveraging silence is you can kind of let people talk, right? They will continue to tell you what you need to know or what they need to get out on the table if you are quiet, right? It goes hand in hand with these two things, right? Let them do the talking. The call is about them. It's not about you, right? Obviously, you want to make a sale, but the call is about them. If you can solve their problem, right? That's the point of it. Closing over Messenger and Docs, right? This has primarily become the core focus of my business, Flip's business. Same concept as using a doc to present your offers, right? If you're talking about like an offer doc, but really beefing them up and adding some flip flair, aka copy, into them. We still do sales calls from time to time, but they're rare. They're very rare. And if we do them, it's usually because of like an inbound and somebody was like, hey, I have a question about X. Can we get on a call? Right? That's usually the only time we're really offering them. Dynamics, beefing up sales docs, Google documents, Good example would be this exact document right here. We could embed a link to it, sell from it if we wanted to. Right? Embedding your stories, results, student results, testimonials into them, right? A good representation of this would be, imagine you're taking a VSL or a sales video and putting it into a Google document, right? It's just like a text representation. Yes, flip flare. That's what I call copywriting. Yeah, so mix in copywriting, real world stuff, things that people are relatable to something outside of online business, right? Real feelings that people have, real things that people can understand is far more beneficial than online jargon, right? An example of this, instead of me talking about having a $1,000 day online, the vast majority of people don't know what a $1,000 day online feels like, right? So instead of that, I would talk about maybe cashing your paycheck or going to the bank and cashing in your actual paycheck that you got paid at your 9-to-5 job, because everybody's actually experienced that in real life versus nobody's experienced, or not nobody. The vast majority of people haven't experienced $1,000 online in a day, right? It's a different positioning.
Yeah. See, the cool thing as we're getting closer to the anticipated shit that we're gonna share with you guys, obviously Jamie is really good like closing in general. He's done everything: funnels, sales calls, docs, like you name it, he's done it. Nate and I, you already know our specialties: growing a group rapidly, monetizing it, right? First real offer doc I put together when I learned how to do it, it brought in 50 grand in 3 months in 2021. I thought that was pretty badass. Pretty much created it. The second one was what we wrote for Group Juice. That doc, like Nate said, we've got almost 300 students. Between Juice Box and Group Juice, all docs, no calls, done $250,000. So, like, what would you do if you could write an offer that you could sell every month? Like, is that something you guys would want? Like, let us three help you do it and show you how to do it the correct way. So maybe you want to make an extra 3, 5, maybe you want to get to the $10,000 a month, whatever. I'm confident that between us three, with this intensive we're going to share with you very shortly, I know we can do it. Okay, so stay tuned. We're getting close, guys, and I'm like fucking excited because I just get bite up.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry.
Picking a sales process. And this is something Jamie mentioned in the beginning. Pick a singular sales process that you want to lean into, right? This is one of the biggest things that kept me stuck for a long time, is no clarity on my actual sales process that I wanted to kind of focus on, right? And that's not to cause mixed signals. Like, if you pick one, you can't do the other one, or like, I'm never getting on another sales call again because it's trash. Right? Having the ability to do it if you need to do it, but picking one of your core focuses, right? And the reason for this is clarity for yourself in the conversation, right? If you get into a conversation with somebody and the conversation's flowing, you don't know if you're going to send them a doc, you don't know if you're going to offer a call, you don't know if you're going to offer a 15-minute call, a 30-minute call, right? Pick a sales process that you want to focus on and lean into that, right? Obviously, if you need to bolt something on to close a sale, then do that, right? But pick a core focus, right? Whether it's content, DM, call, offer, content, DM, doc, offer. Doesn't matter. Pick one, right?
Sorry, Nate. I know everyone's probably getting bored by this stage. It's been a while, but I can't stress this enough. Like, people, perhaps until they've experienced it themselves, they probably just think I'm kind of waxing philosophical. But if you can learn this stuff, and if it's a call, for example, and there's no right or wrong. Like, as the gentleman mentioned, I've closed a bunch of stuff in Messenger, a bunch of stuff with docs. I still take calls. I enjoy it all, right? But if you can learn the foundational principles about why a certain sales process works, or why crafting an offer works, like, it is so universal. And we've had students come in for I'm going to guess for these guys as well, but obviously for UMM and SAA as well, that have come in and changed career paths because they're like, well, I now know how to sell stuff, so I sold myself into a new career path. People that have negotiated better deals on property. We've had people that have taken this stuff online and then realized what they like, the 3 pillars of what they need in order to blow up any business, and then gone and absolutely annihilated in a good way. I mean, like, expand their offline business to the point where they didn't even need to have any online stuff anymore. Like, this stuff is so powerful because you're just learning the fundamentals of sales, marketing, offer creation. And if you can do that, it's just such an incredible thing to go, okay, well, in 10 years' time, I'm still going to have those skills. I can still learn how to pick up the phone and craft an offer to someone to help them out, to grow their business, to whatever needs to be put in front of them. Absolutely unbelievably powerful stuff. So don't dismiss what you are learning it. For those of you that are getting started and stuff, it's really, really incredible.
Yeah. I'm gonna run through scaling.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Everybody, the fun stuff, literally. I'm going to make it super fast. Everybody wants to scale to $10,000 a month, but they don't want to master the process to make $1,000. Say it one more again. They want the 10 grand a month. They're like, hell yeah, I want to make 10 grand a month, but they don't want to master the process to make 1,000. Because guess what? If you can make 1,000 and you get that repeatable process, guess what? You can make $10,000 a month, and then you'll have the foundations and the concrete pillars in place so you can repeat that shit every single month. Remember, like Jamie, he's done $40,000 months, right? Our smallest month this year was 18 grand. And we didn't do anything extra special. We just had everything in place. We knew the process, right? Leveraging your videos, talking about your process again, getting more exposure to you, your brand, talk about your wins, client wins, community wins if you don't have any results yet, right? But you want everybody to be in your world. We want everybody to be in our group. That's where we share the absolute most value. This is why you guys are here right now seeing this training. Make sense? Use your long form content to pre-sell on things. Build deep connections where you can not only call out their pains and their struggles, but also talk about the solutions in your plan on how you help folks, right? Without folks knowing you, they're not going to buy anything from you. If you're not out here, just like really being yourself, talking about real shit, and you're just like, hey, buy my shit, nobody's going to buy from you. Hate to say it. Follow up with the people that are active in your group, right? Engaging with your content. I've got folks that I reached out to in 2020, like Twan, for example. Me and him are still tight to this day. We've made money together. He was one of the first people I connected with in the organic marketing space, and we still make money together today, right? Because I reached out, we connected, boom. I bought some of his stuff. He's bought some of mine. What's that, Jamie?
I was going to say, I connected with that dude in like late 2017 or 2018 or something like that. It might have been. And same sort of thing. We don't really message each other that much anymore, but I've obviously kept in touch with his journey and how he's just kind of gone like that to now. Like it's pretty damn awesome to watch, right?
Yeah. Right. It's been awesome. But just like having real conversations with folks. If any of you are here that have made a sale already, I don't care if it's a $1 sale or a $10,000 sale, then you've got the means to scale. Straight up. Nate's scrolling on me. What happened? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's pretty much. We've already pretty much nailed it. So this is
all good. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Keep
So like
super simple. Anybody who's not a tech person, go ahead, Nate. I'll shut up.
Yeah. So like keeping it lean and simple, especially in the earlier stages, right? Like all of us are big on talking about fundamental things, pillars, 4 pillars, real strategies, real evergreen things that you can learn, marketing, sales, copywriting, right? If it's all translatable and putting a huge emphasis on in the beginning. And then obviously as you get bigger and bigger, you can start automating portions of this process. But in the earlier stages, putting a huge energy into actually learning those things, right? I got a message yesterday that was like, dude, you are unrecognizable from where you were a year ago. And that's because I've put all of my energy into learning that shit, right? And my income is a result of that, right? And the cool part about it is if you can focus on learning the boring stuff and like the stuff that nobody or a lot of the marketers in a lot of the people in our space don't want to take the time to learn. When you do automate it, makes it 1,000 times easier, right? You know how to create a high converting offer, a funnel, an email, anything that you do automate, you can do because you know how to do it already versus trying to automate a business that doesn't even exist, right?
That's powerful, man. And that's the flaw with our industry in general, is because the level of knowledge that gets thrown around, like, you need a website, you need a funnel, you need email marketing, you need to run traffic on this thing, you need traffic on that thing, you need to and so therefore people fall into this concept of like, oh, well, the reason I'm not making money is because I need better traffic. But reality is that if you spend the time to learn how to craft an offer, how to convert, and whatever method works for you, then it's a skill you can't take away. And then you realize, well, okay, well, now that I've got these things in alignment, I can scale the whatever offer. Like it's that's it. Then you can start outsourcing and do whatever you want, right? Like it's really, really powerful stuff.
And I think the really powerful thing to think about is like you brought up a really good point about this nagging feeling of needing more and more traffic. And I'm always a big advocate on you need better traffic, especially for like Flip and myself, because we leverage a lot of short form videos and everybody wants to go viral. And you don't have to go viral, right? Our biggest day all year was we had like an $11,600 day out of a Facebook group of 43 people, right? Because it's highly targeted. It's highly, it's catered to a specific type of audience, the content, right? If you look at a lot of my content, even on short form videos, they don't go viral. I'm not optimizing to go viral. I'm optimizing to connect with a specific type of person, right? And that's where the shit gets really powerful on the back end. That's all we got for the training, right? For all of you guys that stuck with us for 2 hours, you guys are awesome. If you got value from this, let us know in the comments. Drop something in the comment, a 1 or a 2. A 1 if you got value, 2 if it makes sense. Maybe both.
Yeah. or any other number. Like if there's another number you want to throw down, like it's fine. Rate our performance out of 10. Awesome. Riley, love it too. Tony, nice work. Awesome. So 2 things. Number 1 is, given you guys have got a ton of value out of this, do you mind if we spend a couple of moments just going through exactly what we've got planned for you and how we're going to help a couple of folks out that are willing to take that extra next step to basically scale and put all these pillars in place?
Yeah. I guess one of the burning questions would be, if all 3 of us could help you implement these 4 pillars in your business, would you be interested?
Yeah. Yes.
Give me a yes or no.
Sweet.
All right, and the second thing, just real quick, which order do we want to do this? Do we want to go into what we're offering first, or do we want to give away the cash prize? It's so confusing.
Either or, I mean, hey.
And just to spice it up a little bit, I got this smartwatch, right? And I just want you guys to know, when you start putting things in place, what we're about to tell you guys and offer you for those select few, you'll get paid to do stuff like this. When you have everything rolling, I just had 4 figures roll through while hanging out with you guys on this live. Obviously, I've been talking to y'all, right? So like, we want that for you, hands down. So y'all want the cash first? Y'all want to hear about the offer? We got mixed emotions.
We're down the middle,
screw you guys. Screw you guys. No, we're doing the offer first because otherwise you're all going to bail. So you have to stay to the end of the pitch. Yeah, I'm on to you. I'm on to you guys. I know what you're up to. All right, Flip, lead the way. Let's roll this. What do we got for these folks? Let's keep them in suspense no longer.
Right. So what we're gonna do is something that nobody's ever done, honestly. Us three, you already know who we are. We're putting together both of our programs. Now, it's okay if you're already in Group Juice. It's okay if you're already in Ultimate Marketing Mastermind with Jamie. It's okay. But for those of you that aren't in either one and you've been on the fence with either one, we want to make it super easy for you guys, right? And how we're going to do that is we're taking Group Juice, we're combining it with the Ultimate Marketing Mastermind. So not only you get coaching inside of there, me and Nate are live every Monday. We've got a questions thread that's always jumping 24/7. Jamie, same thing. He runs coaching calls every week, supports everyone. And we're going to put those together. Now, on top of that, these 4 core pillars that we just covered, the offer, the traffic, the conversion, and the scaling part, right? We're going to take 8 weeks. We're going to build a quick pop-up group for those that decide to join with us. It's only going to be for a select few folks, okay? We're going to do 4 calls with you guys. We're also going to give you access to us via that Facebook group to answer any and every question that you have along the way. And we're going to help you set up your offer. We're going to go over everything it needs. You guys will still have to put it together, but we will get our feedback. Then we're going to work on your traffic and your ecosystem. And we're going to dial in your sales process that works for you. And then we're going to help you scale this shit to the moon before Christmas. All right. It's going to rely heavily on you. You still got to do shit. But we're going to show and make sure and push that you don't have any questions, no guesswork around your next big sale, right? Now, Group Juice sells for $1,000 pretty much every day of the month for the last 6-7 months. Jamie's sells for $2,700 every month, all right? So, but you're not going to pay $3,700. $1,500, you get to hang out with us for 8 weeks. You get Group Juice, everything included. You also get the Ultimate Marketing Mastermind, everything included. $1,500. That's what we've put together, and that's what we have to offer. So if you are a person that wants to jump on that, this shit's not going to last long, and it's only going to be open for a couple of days, and it's only for a small group of people. If you want to go ahead and snag that, because it's not going to happen again, these 2 programs are going to go back separate, and it's going to be full price for both. So you can get everything for $1,500 today. Message either me, Nate, or Jamie, or drop a send me the offer, and you can check out the full details because I just gave you the 3-minute pitch. You can check out everything that's included. We'll send that over to you. You can lock your spot in. That's what we got for you guys today.
And we also will be comping tickets to Flip and myself are hosting an in-person event at the end of August. We will also comp tickets to people who jump in. You guys can come meet us in person. If you can't make the flight or drive, you guys can come on the virtual event too. We are going to be giving tickets away to everybody who jumps in on this specific offer to come rock with us for that event, right? We're going to be running trainings. Some of our best clients are going to be running their own trainings on specific topics as well. So you're also going to be getting access to that. For we're selling tickets for $1,000 to come meet us in person. So, and this is not not fluffed up numbers.
The really cool thing,
what we're selling it for.
It's not. Me and my father-in-law, we built this barn mansion. It's like a $250,000 barn. It's not just like your barn that's got like pig shit and whatnot. It's a wedding venue, but it's absolutely huge. Nate and I, we've got a Airbnb that we're hosting, and we're gonna run some in-person mastermind. Like, it's pretty big. We can fit 250 people. Obviously, we're gonna keep it small, super intimate. Come and meet us, hang out. We'll fix shit over your shoulder, hang out, shoot the shit on top of everything else that I mentioned, right? If you don't mind traveling to Virginia, that's where I'm at. So looking forward to it. And for those of you that hop on with us, I see we got some folks that want to see that offer. I'm not sure which group they're in, but we will get that offer back to you. And there you go.
Just on the to give some context around what's on offer, we both specialize in group stuff, And what I historically have specialized in is the monetization of very, very, very small audiences to the tune of thousands off having just a couple of people in your audience type stuff. And there's a mechanism for that which covers like literally everything you need to say, every flow that you need to take someone through, and the end choice is yours. If you want to take someone through a sales call process, absolutely fine. If you just want to lob an offer doc over to them, which will help you refine as part of this process, that's absolutely fine. If you just want to close them in Messenger, that's fine too. But it works. And if you pair that with the ability to go super viral with like these guys, and if actually they said they don't really worry about the super viral, but having that constant flow of new leads coming into your group, that's how you build a massive business. So if you can get your offer in alignment, if you can get your conversion process down pat, and the scalability through, I guess, what we're all offering, you're going to have a pretty good back half of the year. So that's what we got on offer, and hopefully get a few folks jumping in real soon.
Yeah. And we'll send this out to those of you, respectively, whoever's group you're in, commenting in. We'll send that to you personally so you can check that offer out. And fucking looking forward to it. Now what everybody came for, Jamie, you can pick your winner based off of the
right.
you chose.
So I don't have any automated process here, and what my original intention was is because I actually give away cash in my group every month, by the way. So, but I think there's one standout that's been quite consistent with the comments in this thread, and I'm going to give this one to none other than the biggest cat fan that I know, Tony Barrett. So thank you, and I will reach out. And of course, if you'd like to use that as a discount towards what we're offering, we can make that arrangement for you as well. So congrats, Tony, on that one.
A question. I saw a question pop up.
Hell yeah,
so
Tony.
If you're in group,
good question. Yep.
If you're in group juice, it is going to be the same price, right? Because it's all three of us. We're putting the time, the coaching, and the stuff in the back end. So if you are already in group juice or in Ultimate Marketing Mastermind, you're more than welcome to jump back in. But it is going to be at the same cost, right? Just to be 100% transparent. Yeah. But
just because we're expending our time, right? And for those of you, I'm sure there's probably going to be a few people that are in both. If there is any level of interest there, just understand that it's pretty dirt cheap price to get in coaching with the three of us. Right. So if you want those things in alignment and you want all the pieces to make sense by the end of that 8-week period, then hop on it.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go. That's the biggest deal. If you're only in one or in none, you get a hell of a discount. Like stupid.
So on that one, should we start sort of opening it up for questions? If anyone... did anyone, obviously we've established we've got value, so that's cool. I really appreciate that. The next step is, and I perhaps should have prefaced this at the start, is like all the value in the world doesn't mean shit unless you go and implement this stuff. So I know there's been a ton of stuff to take in. I absolutely get that, but you got to, if you're serious about building a sustainable business with this stuff, then you got to go implement like crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, and is there any questions around any of the things we talked about throughout this last 2 hours? Don't hesitate to drop questions in the comments or ask, right? For those of you that have been on Flips and Mine lives, Flips and Mine, that makes it's good English.
Good job, Nate.
It's been a long evening. It's 10 o'clock for you or whatever. So
I want to warn you guys. I want to warn you really quick. Like we all shoot the shit really hard, and we make mad jokes, and we like to have fun and make money. So if that's you, then we'd like to welcome you to this profit-pulling trifecta. Okay? Yeah. Anyone that's in my group or whatever, if you're in the DMs with me and you want to see the offer, just shoot me a message. I can fire it right to you after we handle this Q&A, just to make it simple instead of me going back and fighting this. Or maybe Jamie even drops it in the chat. Whichever. If you just want it, cool.
Yeah, what's the call, guys? Should we reach out individually or? Yeah, I think. I mean, if you don't.
Yeah.
Go for it.
That's fine. We can reach out, or anyone who's wants to send the offer, we'll come back to the comments, or you can make it super easy. Send one of us a message, and we'll fire it right over to you. And just let us know either way. If it's not for you, all good. If we haven't, proven that we know shit, no worries. Take that doc that Nate gave away earlier on, and go and deploy that shit. But if you want our help to make sure shit happens this year, and Christmas is absolutely bomb.com, then please come and hang out with us for 8 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah. Any questions, guys? If not, bop, beep, bop, boop. Yeah, the replays will be up in our respective groups. We haven't decided how long we will keep them up just because of what we shared today. We could have easily charged a lot just for this, just saying. But yeah, they'll be up for a while.
So even though you guys are all group gurus, sorry. The focus is across the spectrum of all 4 pillars. Yeah, Tony. So like we're big on group growth and everything like that, but that's just like a medium for the 4 pillars, right? That's just the focus of our businesses, or primarily, especially Mod and Flips, is the core focus is the group. That's everything, right? Anything and everything points to the group. So that would be like one of the pillars, the traffic source. All the traffic points towards the group, right? The conversions happen inside the community, inside the DMs, and then the offers. So it's like businesses as a whole, there's more pillars than the group, right? But that's one medium, right? So I probably butchered the answer to that question, but hey.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I made sense of it.
Whoever's in.
I stroke out all the time.
Yeah. I was going to say, whoever's in Group Juice that can answer Tony fucking Barrett's question. I only said that because Tony's been awesome throughout this live. Anybody who's in Group Juice and still on this live, we can feel free to inform Tony that we teach a lot more than just growing the group, but it's a lot of cool shit in there, man. We get told all the time that we need to be charging $5,000 for Group Juice, and it's stupid that we're only charging $1,000. So eventually we're going to raise the fucking price because we keep getting told that. So yeah.
Let's see. When does the 8 weeks kick off? We haven't set a specific date yet. The pop-up group is created. Everything else, like if anybody jumps in today, you will be put into the group, like it's right away. We want a cohesive date to kick things off. So that's not set in stone yet, but it will happen. It's not like we're going to push it out till next year. It will happen relatively quickly.
Yeah, it'll be around the first. Yeah, it'll be around the 1st of August. It won't be too long at all. These will be group calls. We'll be basically kind of putting everybody on the hot seat and like helping you fix whatever it is that you need based on the 4 core pillars that we covered tonight. So like we're going to make sure that your offer is fucking bomb. We're going to make sure that your ecosystem is set up so you can generate traffic to that offer. And we're going to make sure that you're comfortable with the sales process so that you can start closing sales. And once we get those 3 things dialed in, then that's when the scaling will begin. Like your first 1K, boom, we're going to shoot you to 5K. 5K, then we're going to go to 10K, right? And we're pretty confident that those of you that really deploy this, what we're going to do over this 8 weeks, I'm not going to be surprised if you message me before Christmas and you're like, fuck, dude, I've made an extra 50, 60, 70 grand. I'm not going to be surprised, right? We did 100 grand in 3 months, actually a little less than 3 months with what we're going to be sharing inside this 8 weeks. So I'm not going to be surprised if you fucking 20x this investment or 50x it for that matter.
In terms of there was a question about is it sticking to the pillars or what you're struggling with? What we'll find most most of the times it is going to align with those 4 pillars anyway, which is why we've had that structure sort of in place. Because if you can get your offer dialed in, which is the big hurdle for a lot of people, once you get that dialed in, then you've got the traffic sorted. Then now all you need to do is convert, and once you can convert, then the rest of it is just all right. Well, how do we ramp up what was working? So, like I say, it usually ties into those elements. Grandfathered in,
Kelvin. Yeah, we maxed that one already, Kelvin. But real quick, if you're in either one, still 1,500 because you're getting, if you already got Group Juice, you're getting Ultimate Marketing Mastermind plus us 3 to like personally help you guys, right? So I don't know about Jamie, but like the least amount that we're doing like consulting calls for is $500. One call, $500. Jamie's probably charging $2,000 at this point, but the coaching inside of this for those 8 weeks, that's really what you're going to be getting. Plus both of our programs. If you already got one, you still get the other for the discount. So hopefully that answers your question.
Awesome.
Wicked stuff, dudes. Wicked stuff. Cool.
Wicked.
Any other questions at all, folks?
Yep.
Sweet. We want to thank y'all. We really appreciate how engaged and awesome you guys have all been, and putting up with our rambling and talking over each other and my profanity. I'm not fucking sorry. But thank y'all, really, for hanging out with us. It's been a load of fun. Hope you guys take this and kick some ass the rest of the year.
Likewise. Thanks so much for everyone that's tuned in. Thank you for the folks that are still with us after 2 hours of awesome value, and really appreciate it. Look forward to helping a few of you guys out in terms of scaling your business this year. So, let's dive in. See you on the inside.
Appreciate y'all.
Alrighty.
Catch you on the flip side.
Thank you. Bye.